Hey dumplings, it's Dave Desai. Welcome back to my channel. Today I want to get into some scary things that might have happened in BTS's recent LA concert, as well as some stuff that has happened before that has led to mass fans really concerned about BTS's safety. I also want to get into Netflix talking about V and Squid Game, possibly for season 2. So grab your dumpling, tea spilling mug merch, and let's jump into the tea. But before we do have a word from today's sponsor, so let's roll that clip. I'm excited to say that today's video is once again sponsored by Raycon, which is an earbud company founded and used by celebrities. They are amazing, just like their products. We love having you here on the channel. I personally use Raycon all the time to listen to videos as well as I do stuff. And they have pretty good distance with the Bluetooth, so I can leave it on the counter as I go wash the dishes and the audio is perfect. The new versions of Raycon have a 32-hour battery life and 8-hour playtime. This is a great gift for any music lovers, podcast lovers, or any creative people in your life who need great audio. They also have a built-in mic, which means they'll have great audio on the phone too, and they come in 5 different colors. If you're not happy, you can return it and it's free shipping to and from. But honestly, if you don't like these, you're not gonna find much better earbuds on the market. They are half the price of other high-end earbuds on the market while still having a premium experience, if not better quality. And if you use the link down in the description and use the code HOLIDAY, you can get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Please make sure to check them out and thank them for sponsoring today's video. If you're new here and you're interested in this type of stuff, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified and to new video drops. And if you're a hater, like to be first, leave your hate comment. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button and that notification bell also, and you'll be first to do so. Now let's jump into it. The first thing that I want to jump into today is what happened during BTS's LA concert shows. Now, if you're unaware, BTS was in LA for their Permission to Dance on Stage concert. They've flown back to Korea now, but a lot of concerns were popping up as they left. BTS is known to be heavily stalked everywhere they go, and people have attempted to get their flight information, hotel information, even sneak into a hotel to get private pictures and stuff like that. I need to give some backstory before we get into what happened the last few days. Stalking, this is nothing new in K-pop, but always alarming. They call these stalker fans sasaeng fans, and they're dangerous types of fans. Big Hit or High, BTS's label, does a pretty good job at preventing these sorts of fans from coming too close in contact with BTS. But when there's literally millions of people attempting to get a piece of BTS, it can be difficult and 1 or 2 people can slip through the cracks, which has happened a few times allegedly way in the past. BTS has had alleged stalker sightings at hotels and even footage that no one would have unless you broke into their hotel. For example, when they were in New York to do their UN performance and speech, it was seen that BTS was coming out of the hotel and someone recorded them from what looked like a rooftop. So either that was someone who was in the hotel who happened to see it and took it, which doesn't make sense to me because the label will buy out the whole hotel floor and all the rooms on that floor to ensure that no one knows BTS is there, and I highly doubt the staff would risk their job to leak that information to the hotel guests that BTS is there. So to me, it shows that someone found the hotel information and snuck into the hotel. This is just my theory, obviously. There was another instance where I believe it might have been a video or maybe it was a photo that was posted of Taehyung having fun on a rooftop in what looks like downtown LA. In the background, it looks like you can see the infamous Hotel Cecile. This is a famous hotel with a very haunting past. So people have been murdered and died at the hotel. So it was a concern that Taehyung or BTS was even in this part of downtown LA. And a lot of people assumed that BTS was staying at this hotel, and some people even went to look to see. And this is obviously a problem, as if BTS was actually staying there, which I don't know and I don't want to know, then people showing up and going through every floor to find BTS is not okay and is a big invasion of privacy. I think it's one thing to wait outside of the hotel and it's another to go in, but also waiting outside a hotel is weird because it's probably an unsettling feeling to know that these hundreds of people waiting outside know where you're located. BTS is involved in a lot of politics lately, and so they're not just celebrities, they're somewhat ambassadors and political figures. It's inappropriate to stalk them and actually very dangerous. Taehyung has talked about how he thinks these sasaeng fans are scary and how he wishes for them to stop, and has even talked about this being the reason BTS has to fly private instead of commercial, and it's scary. And some people who shamelessly stalk BTS will then post photos and videos online on either YouTube or fan sites. These fan sites make money off of this content that they stalk BTS for, or they'll make money off of concert footage. Now, stalking a celebrity for photos is morally and ethically wrong, but legally, I don't know what the rules are. Paparazzis get away with a lot. This is no different from that. But you can totally see why a lot of people are on edge when meeting BTS or at BTS concerts, because they're scared something like this will happen during the concert. Either a hotel being broken into or concert footage being leaked, and they're doing this just for the sake of making money. And making money off of photos like what paparazzis do is not fine, but it's like part of celebrity culture, right? It's somewhat accepted. But it can cause a lot of stress for the idols knowing that if they look at something, it could be a scandal tomorrow when fan sites post it. With that said, you can see why people are so scared of BTS stalkers and want this to end. And I think it's important to give context as to why people are mad. But this isn't to say all fan sites are bad. I do believe there are a lot of good ones that do things ethically, no stalking and don't cause harm, and we shouldn't just lump everyone in with the bad. In fact, even these extreme cases I mentioned, it's not like even 1% of fan sites. The majority of the very professional photos and videos we see online that are clear and beautiful, this is all taken by the fan sites, and things like billboard promotions in places like Times Square in New York are often paid by these fan sites. I can understand why people can be upset with these fan sites. I think a lot of armies crossed the line when they attempted to beat people up at concerts. When I read this, I wanted to throw up. There were articles being written about how people who looked Korean, not even if they were, but that they just looked Korean and had some professional equipment with them at the BTS concert, they were assaulted and then yelled at and said things to them like stop stalking BTS or whatever, because the assaulters assumed that these people were a part of the bad fan sites. As I mentioned earlier, there are bad ones, but those are not everyone. I understand why people are mad, but it's not your job to beat people up over this. And it makes me so angry and mad that people think that this is what BTS wants. Even if you attack the person that is stalking BTS and kill them, that is not what BTS wants. They want them to go to jail, not get beaten up. It's not your job to do that. Also, this is very triggering to me because obviously as someone who has spoken about BTS a lot, I get death threats and things like that. And to think that I could get beaten up if I attended a BTS concert because I run a channel talking about them, it's terrifying. I haven't seen anyone talk about this. And it's a scary thing to think that BTS are entertainers. You go to get entertained and people are dying and being hurt over this. If you're one of those people who assaulted anyone at a BTS concert, I hope you go to jail and I hope you stay there, because there's something not mentally right with someone who takes something that is none of their business so personally, i.e. BTS getting stalked is not their duty or right to do anything about. This is the job of the police and the job of the label. Not sure how to transition from that, but there were some cute things that were happening during the BTS concert that are very exciting to hear. First off, it was a shock when we saw Jin dressed up as the girl from Squid Game, from the Red Light Green Light, and then we saw V or Taehyung dressed up as the Square from Squid Game. People were very sus about this and why two of the members dressed up as characters from Squid Game, and it was immediately theorized by people online that Jin and V will be in season 2 of Squid Game. This is apparently the only explanation that we all had as to why the two members dressed up. Not that they just liked the show apparently, but it is interesting that it's two actors of the group that dressed up as Squid Game characters. By the way, if they are in season 2, I will react to that whole season on my Patreon. Right now, I do have a lot of BTS TV shows like Run BTS, Bon Voyage, and In the Soup on my Patreon. So if you want to watch them with me and react with me, then check it out, linked down below. BTS being in Squid Game is a cute theory, but it was further speculated about when Netflix tweeted out about them and talked about how they are living for the BTS X Squid Game mashup. I love this so much and really hope we can have V in the show. Like, even if he can just play square, just like the detective did in season 1, it doesn't even have to be that big of a role. It could be a smaller one, but I would die to see him on the show. Or maybe he can play one of the VIPs, although I think the point is that the VIPs are white. Anyway, we can assume whatever we want. I am excited to see what will happen and if this actually comes true. And hopefully Netflix will see the demand and allow V to audition for the show. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it down in the comment section down below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm featuring this comment right here. Thank you so much for leaving your comments. And as always, I do have a Patreon if you want to go over there and check that out. I have a lot of videos over there that I can't really post on here. This is due to copyright or getting taken down, so to keep it over there on my Patreon. Currently, we have over 400 videos that are already up on there that you have access to the moment you sign up. So if you're interested in checking that out as well as being a part of the community over there, make sure you go over there and check that out. Link is at the top of the description down below. There's also a video over there that kind of goes over how you can support this channel even more if you would like to do that. The video is on the front page and it's free to watch. With that said, there's 2 videos that will appear up on screen at the end of this video, so click on one of those. I'll see you over there. Bye.